And we're live. Lads, I'm here. I'm joined by Adam and Fiacre, a Dundalk and a Shamrock Rovers fan, and a seriously entertaining night of football tonight. We'll start off with you, Fiacre, Dundalk fan yourself. Maybe just before we go into the game itself, maybe have a little chat about the protest beforehand. How did it all go? Did you hear much about how it went?
Yeah, it seemed to go off without a hitch anyway. Like it seemed to be no violence, not no problems really. Seemed a couple of big banners. We want our club back. Bill House are out and things like that. What they were expecting to see really, I suppose.
Yeah,
And a couple of flares, I think, as well. That I was not bad at myself. I didn't get a chance to, but from what I've heard and seen in pictures and that, it seemed to have it just been peaceful enough and went off without a hitch. So
decent turnout
that's
as well.
really
Looked like.
it did actually. Yeah, it looked like it was decent enough turnout. Like there's some of the pictures I've seen, it only looked like there was five at it, and then next one you see there'd be like 50 at it. So it's kind of hard to judge exactly
Yeah,
how many people in total were at it. But
yeah. They did it in the right way as well, which is important.
they did.
And
Yeah, that's. I was worried. I was worried about that now because I just you weren't sure what way they were going to do things. But I'm glad it went the right way. There was no idiots at it anyway. So
exactly. And
you know, like one
we
person could have ruined it.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of with the Man United thing, wasn't there a shoot or attack or something over in England? I think, and so like one incident like
Yes.
that can ruin it. Like,
Yeah.
just in terms of then, were you kind of worried that it might have like a negative impact on the result tonight, or were you thinking it was going to give the players a boost?
It was hard to tell. It could have went either way. I think it had a good impact on the players. Showed them that like the fans are still behind them. Fans still care about the club and stuff, and it pushed them on to go on and win the game. But yeah, it could have very easily had a very negative effect. So I was kind of worried about such a big game having protest before it. Like so, but yeah, no, it didn't seem to bother them too much. If it did bother them at all, really.
Yeah, for sure. Just from a Shamrock Rovers point of view, Adam, do you think the protests had any effect on the players tonight?
I wouldn't say so. I know they were. I saw read something earlier in the week that they were arranging the protest to come in the same time the Rovers bus come in. I wouldn't say it had much of an effect on that. Maybe like a few minutes delay or whatever. Or I wouldn't say it was anything major because like that the game kicked off on time and stuff like that. So I wouldn't put the result down to the protest that the Dundalk fans did anyway.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. In terms of the result, Fiacre, you must be absolutely delighted to not only kind of end Shamrock Rovers' streak, but it's a much needed 3 points as well for yourselves.
Yeah, I think the 3 points is more important to Dundalk anyways than ending the streak. But yeah, it's so hard for Dundalk to get a win nearly, and I think today was one of the few days we're actually lucky. Like with Shamrock, we sitting the post a couple of times in the game. Like
Yeah,
normally throughout the season, then they've been going in against Dundalk, so we've been very unlucky up to now. But it was great to get the 3 points and fantastic as well against Shamrock Rovers. Like they're always probably the hardest team to get 3 points against in the last number of years now,
yeah,
especially since what was it 2019 since the last lost game. So
yeah. Insane, yeah, insane
yes,
result
if you
record.
get it, I was would have been happy with a point going into that game. But when we went 2-1 up, I was like, yeah, lads, hold
Yeah,
on to this for
yeah,
everything we
yeah.
can.
Because there's been points this season where Dundalk have looked a little bit kind of blunt and stuff, haven't they? Really, and it kind of was there a big significant change you could see tonight? I think.
Yeah, there was actually. I thought the midfield was a lot stronger, and we pressed Shamrock Rovers very well. I thought in the second half forced them to kick the ball longer than they would have liked. I think at times, and like Zahibo and Stanton had very good games. So I
Yeah,
think when the two of them get up and running together and get fitness, because Stanton really did towards the end when he came off, he was cramping, he was hurting and tired and stuff. So like, yeah, just need to give him a few more minutes under his belt, and I think that'll help him really well.
for sure, for sure. Adam, as for you, it must be a gutting blow tonight. The record has been broken.
Yeah, obviously devastated about the result. You can be proud about the record having 32 games unbeaten, like it's incredible. Obviously terrible that I couldn't carry on and stuff, but like that, the dog did play well tonight. I think in terms of the game, I think we could have should have edged it. We had a chance to hit the post and stuff. Like Aaron Green, I love him and all, but if he had shot Tupac would have had 10 albums by now. Do you know what I mean? So like, look, what can I say? Look, we missed our chances. The Doc took theirs, and that's the way it went. So devastated, but yeah, although the
was
rest I say on
because
Aaron Green about it.
because Aaron Green started tonight, and was Rory Gaffney. He started as well, so it was
Yeah,
interesting to see them both in the lineup tonight, wasn't it? I thought.
he's done that a few times, Bradley. He's he'd either go with the one, but Green 1 week, Gaffney the other, or play the two of them. And I think with the injuries he's had, he's kind of been forced to play the two of them as well. Which like I don't mind. I think they do play well together, but
Yeah.
we get most of our goals from midfield. We don't really rely on our strikers as much to score goals like that. I think that's like most of our goals, especially last year, came from the likes of Jack Byrne, McInnes, Berkey. You know, the forwards just really kind of keep the play up there. They'd run or hold up the ball. So I don't think, from looking at it, I don't think their role is necessarily to score goals. Obviously, they score goals, it's grand, but we get most of our goals from midfield. So maybe it was just trying to, you know, hold up and maybe give a slight goal option. But look, it is what it is.
Do you feel? I'm not just asking you. Might be difficult, Adam. But like, is it a case of this has kind of been coming for a little while with the Derry? Got a bit of luck with that Derry results. Maybe a little bit of luck against the likes of Drogheda and stuff as well. I know you won that game, but a little bit of luck along the way. Do you think this is kind of coming a little bit?
Yeah, you could make that argument. I think I do agree with Bradley in saying that the winners you've had, that if you keep doing it, it's not luck. You know, it just goes to show we do have that desire to go out and win games late on and equalise late on and stuff. But how like we've gone down 1-0 how many times this season and like, you know, scraped the 95th minute winner and stuff. Whereas you need to set your set you need to set yourself from the beginning. You shouldn't be letting goals in early like that for Rovers anyway, being the champions and defending champions. You need to set your
Yeah.
style and just go out and attack. You can't wait for the opposition to score and be like, okay, now let's switch on. You know. So I guess you
Yeah.
can say it's been coming like that.
Fikra, an interesting one today. Last couple of days has been Jim McGuinness being more. It seems like it's kind of a done deal for Dundalk. What are your kind of thoughts on that?
Oh, I don't. Yeah, it's all over the place right in Dundalk. Every day I wake up, I get a text or something from someone. It's like, oh, do you hear this guy's new manager? Or no, the next day.
Wasn't it David Healy 3 weeks ago? I think, wasn't it? He was supposed to be like done deal. Like, so.
Yeah, it was David Healy was done deal. I think the Linfield manager was done deal, and I heard at one stage there was a guy coming from America again, another guy coming from Scotland. It's just, you hear everything. So until I actually see him in dugout or actually signing something, I don't want to believe anything. Because ex-study golf GA manager, it's not even the same sport.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it?
Like, oh,
he's had experience with Celtic and not in MLS but clubs in America. Like I find it
China as well or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, like I find it so strange, but look, he obviously loves his football, so I don't know what it is.
Because it was that Donegal team like won in All Ireland, and like it was like crazy that they did it. Like it was against all odds. Like, so I thought it seems like it's a completely crazy appointment. Like, but would you prefer maybe like a safer option, maybe a Vinnie Perth to see it till the end of the season, someone like that, maybe just to see it for a short term and then maybe restart next year?
Yeah, I think I would actually just right the ship, try to get European football again for next season. Because like I think the squad is good. It's just there's no one at the helm, there's no one taking charge of it. So yeah, just get someone in a good veteran manager that's like, as you say, get Vinnie Perth back in, steady the ship, get everything, and then you can spend that time then looking for the main boss that you want.
Yeah.
I think they should have went for Rory Higgins. I've been saying that to my friends now, that Rory Higgins, from the moment Filippo went, I thought he would have been a great signing to get. But I think he's actually done very well in there. Like,
so you picked up a few good results, yeah, definitely. I think they won tonight as well, didn't they? I think so.
Yeah.
Just on that as well, just the Giovignoli thing, just get your thoughts on that. Did you think that was kind of the right decision to move that kind of situation on and move him on? And or do you think he needed a little bit more time to the FAI Cup win? Kind of, did he deserve a bit more time to turn it around?
Yeah, I think he deserved a little bit more time. Like his first season as football manager, like he got a Europa League group stage, and won an FAI Cup. Like, I know we didn't do very well in the league, but I think at a certain point he was just concentrating on Europe. Like, I think Rovers beat us 4-0 last year, and it was like our second team out. So I'm not saying we would have won that game, but we probably would have been a lot closer. We had our full team out. So like, yeah, no, I would have given him an extra a wee while, but the amount of changes he made this season, I can see as well, like a very good argument for getting rid of him. Like, there was no starting 11. You couldn't even pick your goalkeeper. You couldn't pick anything. Like, It's like
Yeah.
drawing names out of a hat. So I think you need stability, and he wasn't bringing that. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It was hard. Like maybe give him a wee bit longer.
Yeah, fair. Just in terms of Dundalk now, a quick turnaround on Monday, travelling to Dalymount Park. It's going to be a tough game, but it does new sense of life kind of thing after this result. Does it give you a little bit of confidence going into that one?
It does, yeah. I think when you come against a team like Shamrock Rovers, and I think Dundalk, like we weren't lucky. Like we were lucky, I mean, like when Rovers hit in the post net, but I think we played very well. Like it wasn't just a 1-0 smash and grab. Like we periods of the game we controlled the ball and things like that. So when you can do that against Shamrock Rovers, you're looking forward to the next game then. So I'm kind of glad that it is so soon, like Monday night. So
Yeah,
just to get that rolling again, keep it going, keep going. If we can get a nice win or even a point up in Daily Mount, a good performance will keep you going again, take you over, and then you Friday again. And versus you have
yeah,
to sit around and wait till the following Friday, so you could lose that momentum easily enough with one boy picking up a knock in training or something. You know, the way just something silly like that.
yeah,
There's
absolutely.
no chance now just push on and keep going.
And as you're saying, it's so important to kind of build up those relationships like Zahibo and Stanton. You mentioned that one, like kind of building those relationships, those partnerships across the pitch. It's going to be vital for Dundalk for the rest of the season if they're kind of get towards that top half and challenge potentially at the end of the season.
Yeah, it could be very, very important now, especially I think like you've seen it tonight as well. I think at times when McElhaney and Duffy playing so well together over the last number of years, they linked up well.
Yeah,
And so I'd like to see Zahibo seems to be a very, very good player, and so does Stanton. So it'd be nice to see when they start gelling, mixing better with the rest of the team. Hopefully it'll create a lot more goals going forward, and like get Hoban back and get him banging them in as well.
yeah, it's a big loss, isn't it? Like Pat Hoban, he's a massive loss to the side.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and I don't know what the story with Sonny Nat's dad is. He was he even on the bench tonight?
I think,
Didn't see
yeah,
him.
I don't think, yeah,
No, I seen
weird one.
Cleary might need surgery as well. So Gartland obviously out as well. So you're missing a couple of big names there. But obviously, it's no excuses for the performances they've had. But just
For sure. Yeah, it's
missing some more big
losing.
names.
Absolutely, it's the core of the team that's been so successful for all those years. Adam, just in terms of your next game, quick turnaround as well. On Monday night, you play host to Sligo Rovers, which will be no easy game either. They're in great form this season, so well, this is a good chance to maybe bounce back, and maybe it's a good thing every game so quickly just to kind of put this one behind us.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing that we have Sligo next because we know how big a game that is, considering how well Sligo are doing this year. Um, I think it is important to bounce straight back like that. We've had our injuries, but with the squad we've had, it shouldn't be really any problem. I think we should bounce back, knowing the character of the squad, knowing what they've been through as a team the last year and a half. They definitely should be able to. They definitely should be able to get a result, and it's at home as well. So you're hoping that'll be something there. But like that, Sligo's not going to be an easy game, especially like Greg Bulger. I know he kind of fizzled out of Rovers, but he's been a revelation to them. You know how good he's
Yeah,
been, especially the league over the last few years and stuff. But I think it's the perfect game to bounce back. I wouldn't really like a game against, the likes of Waterford or something like that. Whereas, not saying you're guaranteed to win against Waterford, but you know, you'd rather a tougher team that's up there challenging for you. You know what I mean?
for sure. Yeah, and just in terms of now Sligo, and looking at the table here, they're only 2 points behind you, and Pat's now 3 points behind you. Is this title race well and truly on? Do you think, or you
Oh,
still confident?
absolutely,
Mm.
absolutely. No, I'm still confident we're going to win the league. Absolutely, I think this is just a bump in the road, but it does make it interesting. This because Rovers haven't been in that sort. They're in a position last year when we played Bohs and we went 5 points clear of them. But that was so late on in the season. It was a shortened season as well. So it's going to be interesting now, considering that this is only the second round of matches. There's another two rounds of matches to play.
Yeah,
So that makes it much more interesting. And as a neutral, it's very exciting to watch. As a Rovers
yeah.
fan, you're kind of just cagging it a bit, but looking forward to it. It's a bit of exciting.
Do you think like the strength and depth you have will see it through over like obviously it's a longer season, so it's a long way to go. The strength and depth you have, and the fact that Richie Towell is still yet to come into the mix as well. Do you think you'll just be too strong in the end?
Yeah, I think so. I think I could see us eventually going to play like how like Manchester City play, like don't use a striker at all. I think it's going towards that way, especially bringing Richie Towell in. Because when you bring Richie Towell in, who do you take out? You can't take out Gary O'Neill, one of probably In my opinion, he's the best midfielder in the league. Dylan Watts has been unbelievable. Mandrew and Berkey, they'll get you a goal. So
Yeah.
like, who do you take out? It might even go to that. And I do think with the strength and depth we have, granted we have a few injuries like that. Ronan Finn was out tonight. Chris McCann was out. Neil Ferrugia, God knows what's going to happen to him.
Yeah.
But I still think we do have that squad. And like even like against Sean Kavanagh coming back as well. I think our squad is just that good that we should win the league. So I'm still confident, but it makes it very interesting.
Yeah, Fiacre, I have to ask you about the Richie Tell situation as well. How weird it's going to be to see him back in the LOI, but not in Dundalk's jersey.
Yeah, it's good to see him back. Like he's a good player for the league and stuff, but yeah, it's going to be heartbreaking to see him in anything but a lily white jersey.
Yeah,
but yeah, hopefully now he doesn't hit the ground running. And
yeah. I think it was 25 goals he scored for you or something in his last campaign, which is something crazy.
Yeah, it was 25, 26 somewhere. It was an unbelievable amount of goals.
Yeah, from midfield.
Yeah, he's going to get so many goals for Shamrock Rovers as well. As I say, with that, them players all around him in the midfield and stuff just laying off for him, he's going to crack some teams' bets.
Yeah.
But hopefully he doesn't.
Yeah.
See, when I heard he was signing for us, I was like, he's definitely being fizzled out at Salford. No, he's been playing week in, week out with them.
Yeah.
And
he's been doing well.
And I'm like, I don't know about his injuries or anything like that, but I'm thinking, he's coming home because I think he just wants to come home, and I think what I've heard anyway.
It's 3.5 year deal as well, though, isn't it? It's good money as well. Let's say he's on.
Yeah, it's massive. I think what was it? The Dundalk offered him a year, didn't he?
I think we matched the money, but just a year contract. And I think he wanted.
It's a no-brainer, realistically, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd say he's a dub lad as well, so it's just a lot easier for him in that regard.
For sure. Yeah. A game you might have had your eye on tonight, lads. We'll just touch on this before I let you go. Pats against Bohs. Come to you first, Fiacre. I'm not sure if you watch it at all, but how significant do you think this result is for Pats? And are you confident of catching either of these two sides?
Not too confident, really. Maybe just try it if one of them slips up. But I think your top three this season could be Pats, Bohs, Rovers now. I think we've fallen away too far to catch any of them, really. But so I don't think it was major for us, really, to be honest. I think it was more for the top of the table. I think, unfortunately, I don't think Dean Counted off part of it anymore.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And Robbie Benson at Pats as well, like having that kind of player there, he knows how to win titles, doesn't he? Like that's going to be crucial for them.
Yeah. Benson's going to be I think he's one of the best midfielders in the league.
Do you regret letting him go?
Yeah, I was saying at the time, like, I don't like you miss him. Like you don't realize sometimes he's on what he's doing on the pitch. But when he's not there, you see it's fact. Like we don't have Benson. You miss him so much. He just links things together so well, makes all these runs. Like he can score goals as well. Like he can score very good goals when he needs to, and he can be very boring sometimes. Like where he just looks like he's not doing anything, but then next thing you watch the highlights or something, you watch the game back, and you realize he made it like 14 tackles in that game. Yeah. And all these passes, man marked someone out of it. So he's very good get. And then of course Stephen O'Donnell's a national just winner as well, isn't he?
Yeah,
he knows how to win things. So I think Pats have a very nice wee midfield going.
Yeah. And only 3 points behind you now, Adam. I know they had a little bit of a slip up the last week or two, Pat, but obviously a great win for them tonight. How worried are you about them? And do you think Bohs can get back up into the mix at all?
I'll take the Pats point first. Yeah, you have to be worried about Pats. As I said, I'm still confident, but when you have the likes of Benson, who's come up through the League of Ireland for years, came through UCD, came to Dundalk, seemingly out of nowhere, become a winner and a set starter for them. Then you accompany that with Stephen O'Donnell. You have Chris Forrester, who's back in the form. I said this a few weeks ago. He's back in the form he was when he was before that for England. I like that they've John Mountney and stuff. They've just a good squad all around. And like that, all the loanies they've got from the likes of the goalkeeper from Liverpool and West Ham. So definitely there's something to be worried about. Granted, I'd always be confident going against them just with how good
Yeah.
we are, but you can't help but not worry about it. With regard to Bohs, but Bohs aren't the biggest club in Dublin anyway, so I'm not really worried about them. So
I think
good
there's
luck.
something going.
But like Rovers could lose, but when Bohs lose as well, you're like, it's not a bad night. So
It
you
makes it a little
know,
bit easier. Bohs aren't even
the
the biggest team in North Dublin, so
forever in our shadow, and they'll agree with that. I'll tell you.
you'd agree that they're not the biggest team in North Dublin either, wouldn't you? You'd agree with that as well.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
couldn't
for
agree with
crack.
that. Yeah, I'll say
Lads,
that.
appreciate you joining me. I'll get a quick prediction for your games on Monday night before that just go. So, Fiacre, Bohemians, Dundalk. What are you thinking?
I go 2-1 Dundalk.
2-1 Dundalk, lovely
Another,
stuff. And
another
Adam,
2-1, yeah.
another 2-1, happy days. Adam, who was it? Shamrock Rovers playing host to Sligo. What are you thinking?
I go again. 2-1 Rovers. I don't think we'll 2-1 Shamrock Rovers.
Sligo Rovers, is
I
it?
don't. No, say nothing. I'd say like that. We need to. It doesn't look like we're going to keep a clean sheet with the way we're kind of giving away goals at the moment, but I think we'll still bounce back from this and still get the win.
Class. Lads, really appreciate taking the time. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
If you did enjoy the video, guys, make sure to drop a like on it. If you can hit around 50 like mark, that would be fantastic. And do subscribe if you haven't done so already. It means the world to us. So yeah, thanks for watching, lads. Big thanks to the lads again, and we'll catch you in a bit.